that is probably the reason why I do concepts most of the time, because I like to have something to write about that I will decide earlier on. Because if you just have like 8 songs, for example, and yeah, I have to find 8 subject matters that will connect with me in any way that I could write a whole thing, I don't really know if I can do it. But having a concept from start to finish is pretty cool. Luckily, with Depths of Hatred, the whole order of the album was chosen before I joined. So I was lucky enough to just be like, oh, well, good. I can write the whole thing in order.
Hey, what's up, Vox and Hops heads? I'm Matt, the vocalist of Cryptopsy and the host of the Vox and Hops Metal Podcast, brought to you by Sound Talent Media, where I sit down with fellow metal musicians to talk about their lives, music, and craft beer. I hope you had a glorious weekend. I most certainly did. This Vox and Hops episode is presented by Heavy Montreal. Heavy Montreal is Montreal's premier metal promoter. They put on a bunch of sick shows throughout the year, but more than that, they also put on one of North America's best metal festivals, and this is the absolute truth. Trust me when I say this, because I have played festivals all across the globe, and Heavy Montreal is up there with the best of them. Heavy Montreal has just added a brand new show coming up this fall. They got Ice Kills 9 coming on December 3rd at Théâtre Corona. If you want to go to this show, you better get your tickets soon, because this thing will sell out. I am so stoked to have Heavy Montreal behind the Vox and Hops Metal Podcast. I'm also very stoked to announce that I have teamed up with Indie Merch Store to bring you the official Vox and Hops merch store. Indie Merch makes the best merchandise. I have been working with them for years with Cryptopsy, so it was an easy choice to choose who I wanted to set up Vox and Hops' merch store with. You can head on over to my website, voxandhops.com/merch. That's VOXANDHOPS.com/merch to check out the full line of official Vox and Hops merchandise. When you are checking out, don't forget to use the promo code VOXHOPS10, that's VOXHOPS10, and you will save 10% off of your entire order. Now, before we jump into today's episode, I would just like to ask you to follow the Vox and Hops Metal Podcast on the podcast platform of your choice. But more than that, I'm also asking you to tell a friend about the podcast. If there is someone in your life that loves metal and craft beer, tell them to listen to Vox and Hops. You can tell them that there are over 280 episodes available on their favorite podcast platform, with the world's best metal artists talking about their life, metal, and craft beer. If you were to encourage one of your friends to become a future Vox and Hops head, that would be something that I would truly appreciate. Now, on today's episode, I'm with Will Arseneau of Depths of Hatred and Shape the Above. Get ready, everyone. This is Vox and Hops episode number 287.
I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Today I'm with Will Arseneau of Depths of Hatred. He also plays in Shape the Above. Will, we're both from Montreal, but we have never actually met. Now, how is that? How is that possible? Two metalheads from an epic metal city have never crossed paths.
I really don't know. I as I said earlier, I saw you guys like a bunch, and I know Ollie and I know Chris. I just never talked to you. I don't know why. How's that? Yeah, who knows?
It's one of those strange circumstances of being from such an epic city with so many amazing musicians. We have to hang out on Zoom and interview you so that we can have a conversation for the first time.
Well, you know, if that's what it takes, I'll take it. I'll meet you one day. I'm probably sure that we'll have shows once again, and the opportunity will be there, and we'll grab a beer in person. That'd be great.
At least one.
Let's
get into darker territory before we go into the meat of this interview. Let's talk about how you coped with the glorious year that is now far behind us, but is trailing on, the glorious year of 2020.
Well, that's a loaded question, I would say. Coping, I drank a lot more beer than I used to. I used to not really drink at all. Like at home, I just hung out, you know, at home. And now, since I can go out, I can spend money on just like hanging out with friends. I decided to buy beer that I enjoyed at home. So yeah, that is one thing. And I tried to write music to stay occupied and, you know, keep my time busy. I wrote an album for my other project, Shape the Above, so that was cool. And Depths of Hatred, I did a lot of videos and still with the whole pandemic thing. It was challenging, but tried to keep everything moving. But it sucked. It was awful.
It's difficult. It's very difficult for artists not to be able to get out there and connect with our fans in a human way. It's very strange to not be able to perform. And even for myself, Cryptopsy, our last show was in July of 2019. So it's been dragging on for quite some time. We're approaching the 2-year mark of me performing on stage. It's crazy. So I understand that it's difficult, and we tend to fall back onto things that we enjoy, such as beautiful craft beer. And Vox&Hops is all about hanging out with my metal friends, talking about their lives, music, and craft beer. What beer do you have on your side tonight that we will be sharing virtually?
I have 2 beers, just to be sure. I'm pretty sure I'll drink only one. I have the Toile Nordique from BreWskey and Boréale. That beer's sick. I kept it basically for today. Yes. I got 4, and I was like, I'll keep 1. I'll enjoy it with Matt.
It's a killer brew, and both of those breweries are Vox&Hops alumni. It makes me so happy when I see alumni collaborating together, and that's an epic thing to get BreWskey out of the old port. I love that they brew and you have to go there, and it's an experience that you have to go to the brew pub. But the fact that when Boreal, this mammoth company, handpicks these collabs with smaller breweries that don't get the distribution, such as BreWskey, and a little bit before they did one with Masorum Brassitorium.
That one was
Oh,
that one was so good.
so this one that you are drinking, show everyone the can art, because it's super sick, because it's a total cult icon. It's Bob Ross, right? That's his name. The mythical painting dude from the 80s, 90s. Except he's all fucked up.
Oh yeah, he is. People have been saying that he's kind of a mix between Bob Ross and do you know Doc Mayhew, the kind of psychologist? Well, I don't know. I think he was a doctor or something, and he does like radio shows. He's pretty messed up, but he has a gray beard, and fluffy hair as that. So he kind of looks like that as well, but I don't know.
So Bob Ross has the monocle because BreWskey always has a monocle on their can arts.
Always.
And he's painting the big polar bear from Boreal. Yeah. It's really, really cool. And it's high ABV. Well, what style of beer is that? I don't remember.
It's 8.8. It is an IPA, I think. Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure. It's not written. Double IPA style in New England. So it's a New England IPA.
Double New England IPA, 8.8% ABV, and does not taste it. I'm matching you. I'm not quite there, but this is another brew that I really enjoy. In that same vein, this is a Kahnawake Brewing Company's Monkey Dog, 8.4%, double New England as well. This can art was created by Philip Ivanovic, also a Vox&Hops alumni.
Yeah.
Super cool dude. He designed the flyer he designed the artwork for Brew North America.
Yeah.
And he's designed a bunch of stuff for Kahnawake since I teamed him up with Drew, the brewer from Kahnawake, to do the Crisp Topsy artwork. Good people work together. I love putting people together. It's what I love to do. Let's crack these. Let's pour these out. Let's see what these brews got, and then we'll do a cheers, and then we'll keep going.
Yeah. Just open bite. Oh man, I'm stoked to taste it. It's been a while. But yeah, I really like Boreal, what they've done, as you said, with the collabs. It's really cool because I got to buy some BreWskey and some Messerum like at my corner store like near my place. So that was really exciting. And I remember like just leaving, but because I'm able to work from home right now since the whole thing. And on my lunch break, I was just like, oh, they received it, just went in my lunch break and bought a beer. So, yeah.
That's amazing. Cheers. This is probably one of my favorite New Englands from Kahnawake.
Never tasted it.
It's amazing.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh. I'm sad that
tickle in my throat. Yeah, tickle in my throat. The beer got to me. No, it's juicy, delicious, super, almost a little tangy. Really fantastic haze. Drew, the brewery, is a really fantastic haze brewer. It's worth the trip to go out to Kahnawake. You can only get it there.
Okay, I need to go now. I need to go there.
Oh yeah, it's totally worth the trip. Yeah. Now going backwards in your life with beer, you mentioned before the pandemic you weren't that much of a beer avid beer consumer as you were before. But tell me about your very first beer.
Oh my God, I don't think I remember it for real. I would have maybe two answers. Probably a Budweiser or something like that, because it's available everywhere. I probably bought it with some of my friends and then we drank it, but I really don't remember. I think it might have been as well a Alexander Keith. They have like the IPAs one.
Yeah.
Because my grandpa, at home, we only had this type of beer. Basically, it was the only one that we had because my grandpa drank it, not a lot, but when he came at our place, it's basically the drink of choice. So I think it might have been that one. Probably my dad was like, "Oh, yeah, take one." Oh, then I was excited that I'll be drinking a beer with my father. So it was basically it. Yeah. But so yeah, I don't remember the exact moment nor my age, but still I'm fairly sure what it was one of those.
Whenever Cryptopsy goes on tour in Canada, we put, we like IPAs. This is a few years ago, and we would always put, "Do not give us Alexander Keith's," because it is not an IPA. I don't believe that it is.
It is a complete lie. I remember seeing like IPA. I was like, what? But because when I first knew of IPAs, and then I realized that this was categorized as an IPA, it was like, yeah, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's on the rider. It's like, except Alexander Keith's, we don't want that. But it's funny because I used to drink a lot of it growing up.
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of a beer that, it's okay. It's not that bad, but yeah, it's not IPAs.
Once your craft beer palate evolves, you're in a different world. So that's why I'm curious. What beer would be the beer that showed you that beer could be something more?
That one I do remember. I was allegedly illegal. Allegedly. Yeah, I was.
Some may consider. Yeah.
And I was. We went to a bar with some of my friends, and I remember like watching the menu, seeing Blanche de Chambly, and never tasted it. So we were like, yeah, why not? Let's taste it. And it was before Unibrew. I think they sold to Molson. I don't really remember, but
they didn't sell to Molson. They sold to Sapporo.
Okay, yeah.
Which is different, but also a big, huge conglomerate came in.
Yeah. So basically, that was the first one that I like realized that I could enjoy drinking beer, and that it was a world that I needed to explore. But yeah, this was absolutely the first one that I fell in love with. And then after a while, it got to a point where, stouts, IPAs, and then the whole thing opened up a lot more.
Amazing. Let's talk about the soundtrack of your youth. When you were growing up in your parents' or guardians' house, what music was playing when you were not in control of the music? What music did your parents or guardians listen to?
A lot of rock, basically. I've never my parents are separated, so I had two households. But my dad was mostly like old school rock, so like Deep Purple, Pink Floyd, little bit of the Beatles, like what else? Well, a lot of those types of bands, And my mom was like David Bowie, even Metallica and stuff like that. So I remember as a young kid, she had a like bootleg CD of old Metallica songs that I never, not the Black Album necessarily, but like songs from And Justice for All and stuff like that. So I was exposed to that type of music since I was pretty young. But it was mostly rock, old school thing. I never really cared too much about it when I was really young, but after a while I think it forged me into this metal listening kid.
What would have been the band that was your band, your first love, the one that you couldn't live without, that you were obsessed with?
The first one that I was obsessed. It was the first one that on my own discovered was Linkin Park with the Hybrid Theories. That's the first album, I think, and Meteora, I think. So both of those records I bought. Well, I asked my dad to buy them for me when I was 7 or 8. I really don't remember. And but yeah, that was the first one, and that's my second show that I saw, but the first one that I like really enjoyed being there. But yeah, I was obsessed with Linkin Park when I was a kid.
That's amazing. And you know that I covered them, right? Back in the day, I was a new metal child. and my band definitely covered One Step Closer back
Oh
in
yeah.
the day.
Okay, yeah, the
Definitely
good old
happened.
stuff. But those records they're still good.
Oh yeah,
Recently I
they
checked
re-released
yeah.
Hybrid Theory
Oh
this
yeah,
past
of
year.
course.
It was great.
It's a great record. It's still to this day the whole thing is the vocals are amazing. The music's pretty good. You know, it's cool. It's great.
It might
And the
not be
first
extreme death metal, but the songwriting is there.
still you don't need to only listen to brutal death metal. You can listen to a lot of different stuff. For example, right now I'm listening to the new J. Cole album, and I don't care. It's real good, but it's not death metal.
It's important to have a varied palate.
Yeah.
As with
you
beer,
need
you can't just drink one style of beer. You can't just listen to one style of music. You have to have a vast array so that you can get inspired to do a bunch of other things as well.
Yeah, it gets boring. If you only drink IPAs, it's fun, it's good, or even worse, if you drink only one IPA. If I had this one for the rest of my life, I'd be like, okay, can I have like maybe water or something?
8.8. I should have chosen a lower one, but
Yeah.
you just mentioned that I was curious about what your first live music experience was. So it was Linkin Park?
No, actually, my dad brought me to see Bon Jovi when I was like even younger. That was cool. That was cool. I remember really liking Bon Jovi. I don't know why. I think it was like which song? Well, one of those. I really don't remember. But yeah, it was the first gig that I saw at Bell Center, and I really liked it. I remember asking my dad, "How loud will it be?" And we were in the car and he cranked it up, and I was like, "Oh wow, cool." Yeah, it was
amazing. I also saw him. I think I've only seen him once. I think it was with a punk band opening. Like it was a weird bill, like
okay. Yeah.
Less Than Jake opened or something. It made no sense.
Okay. Yeah.
And with Bon Jovi, it was something like that. It was like a weird, popular punk band touring with Bon Jovi, playing the Bell Center, the huge arena here in Montreal.
Was it that show? I don't remember. Man, when was it approximately? Like
it was like 20 years ago.
that was probably the show that I went.
That's
to.
why I'm bringing it up, because
yeah, that was probably it. I sadly I was way too young to remember the first band that was. I kind of remember the show, but
all I remember is that I was with this girl, and I won't name names. I've known her a long time, and she was enjoying the beer that was available there, and they didn't play Bed of Roses that night, and she was very upset. And after the gig, she hunted out Bon Jovi. She was going around the building.
My God,
trying to find Bon Jovi because they didn't play.
Oh no! Oh no! That is. Oh no!
We didn't find him.
God!
But
that's like if somebody came to you and were like, "Hey, you guys didn't play enough songs from Non Sauvage."
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, no. What's up?
We play 5. I think that's enough. But
that's enough. You have a whole catalog of like 6 songs. Not man. Yeah, that's one thing that I don't really. Well, I'm kind of guilty of that as well. Sometimes I see a band, I'm like, yeah, they should have played that song. But still,
we're all humans. We all have our opinions, right?
But it's fun.
Some people should keep them to themselves, though.
That is absolutely true.
How about your first time on stage?
This one I do remember. I started playing guitar when I was 14 or 6. No, 14. Yeah. I started playing guitar when I was 14. Then I got a band with some of my friends and we were playing covers. And at my school, I went to a private school that had like a rehearsal space, basically. So we could, yeah, that was cool. So we could sign up and basically play in our lunch break and stuff like that. And after school, so we jammed there playing like Metallica songs. We played 3 songs. That's it. And then we when we signed up for the rehearsal space, we had a contract that at the end of the year we had to perform, do a live show. So we had basically the whole like a gymnasium in our school that like all the parents were there, friends. And it was really fun. And we played in front of like 150 people or something like that for my first show. and we killed it. I don't want to be like, oh, we for real, we killed it. It
Well,
was
if you
so
practice,
fun.
you practice 3 songs all year
Yeah.
long. You're
Dude, that
bound
was
to
great.
kill it.
Yeah, we played all
What songs?
three.
Do you remember the songs?
Yeah, it was For Whom the Bell Tolls. No, we started with Harvester of Sorrow from Metallica. Those are all Metallica songs, as I said. Harvester of Sorrow, For Whom the Bell Tolls, and Master of Puppets.
Amazing.
So those 3 songs, and we killed it. And we had, do you know, in the metal scene, like Tribunal, the stupid brand from, they're from Montreal, and they play like, I don't know, like grindcore, death metal, and they
I
sing in
should
French.
know them. I should
Do you
know
know,
them.
do you know Laurent Bellemare? He sings in
The name sounds 100%.
he plays in Basalt and Syrox, I think. He sings in Syrox.
That one, yeah, that resonates.
Yeah, and Sutra as well. So
Yes.
he sings in that one.
Yes.
So yeah, he is the vocalist of that stupid band, and they were playing that shows as well. So yeah,
It's a small, beautiful, beautiful world.
yeah, the metal scene is pretty tight. Yeah, a lot of people know each other. So
Which is exactly where I wanted to go. I wanted to talk about being from Montreal. It's such a beautiful thing. I consider myself lucky being from Montreal, growing up in this very unique scene where so many bands have made it. Now, doing this podcast for so long and touring, getting asked this question all the time, I've narrowed it down to why Montreal has such a vibrant scene. But I'm curious to know your experience. How grateful are you to have grown up and become a metal musician from Montreal?
Man, it's really great. For real, I consider myself to be extremely lucky because I've met a lot of people that I looked up to, and now I would consider like friends. I remember being like quite young and knowing about like Martyr, you know the band Martyr with Dan Mongrain? Yeah, of course.
Bring it back.
Bring it back, of course, dude. Those guys are like one of my favorite bands. So, but I remember seeing them when I was like underage and being like, oh my god, and just be able to see those guys live. Not a lot of people will have the opportunity to do so. And just have like the chance to have a chat with Luc Lemay just for fun. So it's really cool in that way. And then you get to play shows, meet a lot of people, and then you just develop this kind of friendship with a lot of people. It's a great scene, and there is so many bands that are way too sick that are from here. I can't believe to comprehend how like you guys, Cryptopsy, for example. I remember like when I was quite young being like, damn, this band is sick. Now talking to you and talking to Chris, like sometimes it's great. But Montreal is quite the city for metal. It's great for Fun Electric's the shit, man. I love this place. It smells.
Can't wait.
It's great.
Can't wait to be back there.
Dude.
I like to go there better when it's dark, though.
Yeah,
when
no.
the lights are on at Foofs, it loses its mystique.
Yeah, there's when you're there and there's light, you're in for trouble. There's not.
When you show up like early in the day and you see what really is going on there, it's like, I'll come back later when it's dark.
Yeah, I'll go grab the sandwich.
I won't sit there next time. But
yeah, exactly. But I just learned recently that they serve IPA Nord-Est for a while.
I've used it on many Vox&Hops episodes. It was a savior when I realized that they had Boréale Nord-Est on tap there, and I hope that they do again when they open up and people start coming back. That would be great. That would be because it made my life very easy trying to organize Vox&Hops episodes with artists that were playing there. I did multiple interviews backstage at Foofs with Boréale Nord-Est.
This beer is like it's the shit. It's we were talking a little bit earlier about the first beer that like the Blanc de Chambly, but IPA Nord-Est. I remember drinking that one, being amazed that it was Boréale. I couldn't believe it, and then it is probably one of my favorite beers just because it's so much. It's first of all, it's available almost everywhere. Yeah, and it's so good. It's consistently good. So,
I bought two today.
Yeah, I had one at my place. I was like, should I drink that one? But no.
I bought two today, and the whole Gabriel Dulon, the brewer from Boréale episodes that I did with him. I just praised him the whole time for changing the Quebec craft beer scene with that beer.
He did. He absolutely did. I listened to that episode, and when I saw it was released, I was like, oh shit, I'll listen to it. And
He was
yeah,
cool. He was really cool.
Yeah, but he really did for real.
From his garage to every beer store across Quebec. Let's talk about Inheritance, the brand new Depths of Hatred album. Came out via Prosthetic Records on March 19th. This is a massive record, huge record release for you. Your first record as solely a vocalist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that must have been an interesting transition. First record with the band. Chris Donaldson recorded the drums and your vocals. He mixed and mastered it at the Grid Studio. Love working with Chris. Let's talk about Inheritance. Let's talk about, first off, joining the band. I don't want to hear like how you joined the band. I want to hear about your mindset going from not being behind the guitar to being just a vocalist. That's something that interests me.
Yeah, it is. It's really. And by the way, thank you for all of that praise. But yeah, it was not a challenge because it's a lot less difficult to just pick up a mic and then do vocals. But it is a different approach, I would say, and it's a different live experience as well. But yeah, when I joined, it was basically just, oh, do you guys want to let me do like anything? Are you guys willing to just like for me to try shit out? And they were like, of course. They asked me to do clean vocals on the album, and I was like, oh well, why not? Let's do it, as you did with that famous Cryptopsy record that I don't.
The album shall not be named.
I don't feel that it deserved that hate, but yeah. The approach is the exact same. I don't write like in thinking that I won't be singing, or that not that I won't be singing, but that I won't be playing guitar. I just do the best. I try to serve the song as well as I can. But it wasn't that strange because when I joined Shape the Above, my other project, I started as the only vocalist. I wasn't playing guitar. It took a couple of years for me to transition towards playing guitar.
Okay. I thought you were always playing guitar and then
that was
vocalizing, because I know that like people that write riffs and then you're playing, so you have to focus on playing and then being able to sing. So as a vocalist, we can do whatever the fuck we want.
Exactly.
It doesn't depend upon the time signature or what's going on technically here. So I was curious to see if you felt more free in this project because you could do whatever the hell you want because it doesn't matter what's happening on the guitar.
In a way, yes, because I could just have fun and just try different things out. But at the same time, I wouldn't say that it was different, strangely, because I do the process of me writing material, well, not material, but my vocal lines and vocal patterns were the exact same that I do with Shape. For real. I wrote like, I could practically sing those songs and play guitar at the same time as well. But I don't know. I never tried it and I won't try it. Because why would I? But it's a lot more, it's really cool to be able to just sing live and just move around and to yell at people. It's fun. It's really cool.
How about big label, prosthetic, and then in the middle of a pandemic?
That was that
led to the drinking, but
I got drunk every night. No. But the problem with that is I recorded my last vocal session, I would say, was in February of 2020, so right before it all fucked up. So it kind of sucked because we didn't know what to do. We started mixing the album and we were like, when will this record be available? Will we postpone the whole thing or will we still release it? What about shows? What about tour? And I've never even played in Canada with that band. I've only been in one tour and that's it. So on that end it sucked. And I'm just, it sucked for real because I want to play shows. I want to, play those songs live and we never had the chance to do so. But in a way, we'll be able to do it like in a couple of months. I say maybe 1 year. I don't know. Let's hope so. So, but the label was fairly nice. They were just like, we'll release it whenever. Well, they had a date, but still, they weren't the ones that pushed it too much. We basically worked with them. It was fairly smooth, but it just sucked that we couldn't do anything with the release of the album. So, but still, I'm still proud of it, and I can't wait to play live.
Let's talk about working with Donaldson.
Yeah.
I love working with Chris. He's my favorite vocal producer to work with. Talk me through your experience. Had you worked with him before? What was your experience like being in the studio at the Grid with Chris Donaldson?
It was, for real, it was really fun because I've heard of Chris a lot in the past. I kind of always wanted to work with him, but I never did. So it was my first experience with him. But I talked to him a little bit before, but when we recorded, we kind of bonded a little bit more. We're like, oh, okay, yeah, he's really cool. He's just not like this mighty producer or the guitar player from Cryptopsy. So we became kind of friends. You know, he's a big IPA fan as well. He introduced me to Messerem, by the way. But yeah, it was really great. It was smooth, but at the same time, I really like his approach. He's quick, he's efficient, and he pushes you just enough. He's like, oh no, do it again. That one sucked. Do it again. I like being told that I suck because I need to work harder. But yeah, it was smooth. A couple of sessions here and there. You know, I could work and then go do my vocal tracks. It was all around. It was one of my favorite experiences in the studio, and it came out great. It came out great. I really, really enjoy what we did, and he's a fun guy.
He's amazing. He's
the
best to work with. I hate working with producers that go, "What did you think?"
Oh no, that's the worst.
Dude, you're in the chair for a reason. If I didn't like what I just did, I would have told you to press record again.
Yeah, no, exactly. I like that he gives his opinion about stuff. He's just like, no, you can do better. And sometimes what I really enjoyed is I went like a little bit lower and it was like, oh yeah, do that again. I was like, oh
yeah,
okay,
and he gets all excited, right? You
yeah,
know, he gets that.
But yeah, not once he told me like, oh, what did you think? He was like, nah, let's do it again. So
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't as well.
I'm very lucky that I have the podcast that I get to hang out with metal musicians and talk to you. This is how I've been filling the void of performing. I get that same still little, excitement. Am I prepared enough? Am I going to connect with this person? Are they going to connect? So I get that same little vibe right before stepping on stage. So how have you been filling the void? You mentioned that you've been writing a new record for Shape the Above. What else have you been up to?
Well, right now, not a whole lot. We've not, I haven't, well, now I did, but with Shape and Depths of Hatred, we haven't rehearsed in like 8 months or so. It's been quite a long time. But I don't know. Well, yeah, I wrote an album. That was it. But I wrote it like in 2020. So it's been a long time. And I'm trying to like change things up, maybe write a little bit of vocals. But now I just try to hang out with friends like as much as I can't really, but now we can have a beer or stuff. I can have that social interaction a little bit. But no, and the music thing right now is a little bit too quiet for me, I would say. I'm not doing a lot.
Is it like because you know that you're going to be on tour for the rest of your life as soon as they allow us to go out there?
Not really, because that's kind of what I want. I kind of want to go on tour, kind of want to do shows, but now I just try to, have a little bit of quiet moments before the storm. But yeah, I'm starting to rehearse again, so that's really fun. We can work on the songs that I've written, because it's cool writing music, but it's not the same as like performing the music or building the whole album, because I'm only the guitar player and the vocalist. So I basically write the main
the skeleton
thing. Yeah, exactly. But we still need to put meat into the whole thing. So, but yeah, I kind of suck right now. I should be working a little bit more on music. I should.
Here's my mission for you. Tomorrow and the next few days, start working on music again.
I should. Yeah. I will. I will write. Right now I've been writing a little. Well, I say that I don't work on music, but that's not really true. I've been working on acoustic stuff.
Really?
That's not really metal. So that's why.
It's another sphere of that palette we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I've been writing a little bit of that. Old songs that I've had that I've shelved quite a long time ago. That I would just like, oh yeah, well, let's work on that. But it's not too serious. But yeah, I should start to write. Probably I should write lyrics for the new Shape the Above. It should be something that I do.
That's a mountain. That's a mountain. It's the worst mountain. It's like you're sitting there and you see the mountain. You know you have to climb the mountain.
Oh.
You have to get on the other side of the mountain, but you need to pack your bags before you can get up there.
Exactly. And I have.
So you're packing your bags right now.
I'm figuring it out. Oh, where should I go? But I have a bad habit to start to write like concept albums. So the whole thing.
I love that. You know, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. The new Depths of Hatred record is a concept album when it comes to the lyrical side. Amazing. So the whole thing is linked. And the first album, the other record from Shape the Above that I did was exactly that, a whole concept. So the whole thing is, it's really fun to do. So it's really challenging, but I really like that. So now I have. Yeah,
especially if I find it much more easier unless it has to go in a certain order.
Yeah.
If it has to go in a particular order and you've written the story that way, then it's very stressful. And the band is like, no, this song is not song 2, it's song 8. And you're like, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm kind of at that point right now. I'm trying to convince the guy of the order that I have, but it's not like 100% confirmed, but I'll try to make it work, but yeah, it's not easy.
That's difficult. But to have like a skeleton, like a umbrella concept, which is what I always work with, and everything falls in that and doesn't have to be linear, is freeing. And but I love working with a concept because I feel like I need direction when I'm writing lyrics for a record. If not, I feel like I could write about anything, and it might sound like it's very fragmented and spastic, and I don't want it to be that.
That is probably the reason why I do concepts most of the time, because I like to have something to write about that I will decide earlier on. Because if you just have like 8 songs, for example, and I have to find eight subject matters that will connect with me in any way that I could write a whole thing, I don't really know if I can do it. But having a concept from start to finish is pretty cool. And but luckily with Depths of Hatred, the whole order of the album was chosen before I joined. So I was lucky enough to just be like, oh, well, good. I can write the whole thing in order. So yeah, but concepts are really cool.
I love it. I love it. Since I realized I could do that, it was so freeing in the aspect of the pressure to come up with so many good topics for each song. Cannibal Corpse nailed it early on. It's like, it's going to be gory. It's going to be amazing. And that works for that.
It really does. But you guys, like, the last record, the EPs that you did are conceptual as well.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I didn't know that. That's great. That's real cool.
And we have, there'll be another EP, but there's an album before that, which will also be conceptual, that I've come up with the concept with before the pandemic hit. And I'm waiting to write some lyrics to that. Let's talk about a dream tour to launch Inheritance for Depths of Hatred. Who would be on that package? Let's say there's 4 bands, including you guys.
Okay.
The perfect tour package to showcase Depths of Hatred to the world. So you're not headlining. You guys you can if you want, but what would be the best package to put you in front of the best metal fans?
That is, that is a good question. I don't really know. The thing is, I'm in a deathcore band, I am in a deathcore band, but I'm not really that much into deathcore. But I do have a couple of bands that I think would be amazing. First of all, Thy Otter's Murder would be great. I'm pretty sure those guys would align because they're massive, huge fucking band. And I know Jesse, the drummer now.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's a friend of mine. So
he likes craft beer too, apparently.
Yeah. I drank a couple of stouts with him way back when he was in Black Crown Initiate. So, and I think Fit for an Autopsy would be one because they do have kind of some cleans, and they are pretty heavy, pretty deathcore, but kind of death metal as well. What else, man? Let's go with Brand of Sacrifice. I went on tour with those guys. They're sweet, so let's go. Let's go with them. But
that's a good package right there.
That tour would be completely dumb. I would cry. I would basically shit my little pants. So
that would be amazing. I love that. I just organized a massive collab project called Brew North America. 22 unique beers dropped all across the United States and Canada, where I paired metal bands with metal breweries to create unique beers. So if you were to be a part of Brew North America, what beer would be for Depths of Hatred? What style of beer, and what would you call it?
Oh, the name I don't really know. I'm fairly sure it would be an IPA, since almost every one of the guys love IPAs. So I think it would be a New England IPA, because it's mainly what we kind of all dig. And what would be the name? Depths of IPAs? I don't know. For real, I don't know. Man, do we have a record that starts with I don't know. For real, probably. Yeah, Depths of IPAs. Why not? Why not? Depths of Hops. Depths of Hops.
Depths of Hops.
Yeah.
There you go. It was just waiting to be said. I love it.
Yeah, I was just like trying to. The whole answer was really running fast in my head right now. But we know, dude. If we do a hot sauce one day, it would be Depths of Hatred. What? Yeah. Depths of Hatred. That would be good.
Amazing. I love that. Let's wrap this up. Classic Vox&Hops wrap-up question. It probably doesn't happen to you very often before the pandemic, but throughout the pandemic, it probably happened to you a little bit more than you wanted it to happen to, because you were enjoying a few more beers than before. What is your hangover cure?
Sleep, for real. Dude, that is the only way that I feel better. I need to sleep. But if I need to do something and I can't, for sure a big old bottle of water, like a 1.5 liters, right before you go to bed. You drink that whole thing up, and then you go pee, and then you're good. And it's probably that is absolutely the best. And maybe eat a little bit of something before you go to bed, because it's kind of helps with the alcohol poisoning that is in you. But yeah, sleeping in water. That's the only real remedy basically for a hangover, because what else could you do? Or work out. Working out is good as well. But I haven't worked out in a while, so.
Sleep in water, people.
Yeah.
The words of wisdom from Will.
Or maybe crack a cold one again. That is another way to do.
That is delaying the hangover to the next day.
It builds up a massive hangover at the end of the week, so.
Or at the end of the pandemic.
A 1 year worth of a hangover. That'd be hard.
Will, thank you so much for taking the time talking to me about your life, metal, and craft beer. I am very stoked we got to connect finally. Everyone, go listen to Depths of Hatred Inheritance. It dropped March 19th via Prosthetic Records. It's a banger of an album. And get ready for that new Shape the Above record, which is it's coming. It's coming, people. Will, thank you so much.
Well, thanks to you, man, for real. It's been an honor. Thank you for having me. Cheers, man.
Hey, thank you all so much for listening right to the end. You know that I love and appreciate that. I had such a blast connecting with Will. Insane that we both live in Montreal, a beautiful metal city, and we've never actually crossed paths before. Very stoked that we had the opportunity to connect for this interview. I know that we are going to hang out again in the future and have a great time together. If you enjoyed this Vox&Hops episode, you should sign up to the Vox&Hops Metal Podcast mailing list. You could do that on my website, voxandhops.com. That's VOXANDHOPS.com. And when you do that, you shall receive one email a week containing all of the details of everything that has happened throughout the past week in the world of the Vox&Hops Metal Podcast. So please do me a favor, sign up to the Vox&Hops mailing list. There is just so much going on in the world of the Vox&Hops Metal Podcast. I would hate for you to miss a single thing. The Vox&Hops Metal Podcast is brought to you by Sound Talent Media. I have 2 more episodes coming up this week, one on Thursday and another on Friday. But until then, remember to enjoy life, metal, and craft beer. Cheers, Vox&Hops heads.